They say revenge is dangerous. They say revenge is poison. They say revenge consumes you. But let me ask you, what is more dangerous? The fire that burns, or the silence that kills you inside? Because revenge is not weakness. Revenge is not madness. Revenge is not poison. It is truth. It is the echo of every wound. It is the roar of every scar. It is the storm born from betrayal. And when the world betrays you, when people break you, when they spit on your dreams, when they laugh at your pain, revenge becomes the fuel that keeps you alive when everything else dies. And that is why villains are feared, not because they are cruel, but because they are patient, because they remember, because they never forget the pain that was given to them. Because while heroes forgive, villains carve the betrayal into their soul. They sharpen it like a blade, and when the time comes, they strike with a power no one can stop. And that is why revenge is not weakness, it is clarity. It is justice written in fire. It is balance restored by will. And in your own life, you too have felt it. You too have been betrayed. You too have been broken by people who smiled to your face but stabbed you in the back. And they told you to forgive. They told you to let go. They told you to move on. But inside you still burn. Inside you still rage. Inside you still hunger for the day you rise and show them who you really are. And that hunger is not your curse, it is your weapon. Because revenge is not about hatred. Revenge is about evolution. Revenge is about becoming so strong that the pain they gave you becomes their greatest regret. Revenge is about showing the world that they picked the wrong person to break, the wrong soul to betray, the wrong heart to abandon. And when you rise with that fire, when you rise with that rage, when you rise with that hunger, you become unstoppable. Because pain creates power, scars create strength, betrayal creates monsters that no one can cage. And that is the villain's truth, that is the villain's power, that is the dark motivation you must embrace. Because revenge is not destroying them, it is building you. Revenge is not about killing them. It is about killing the weak version of you that they thought would stay broken. It is about proving to yourself that no matter what they did, no matter how deep the wound, you will rise, you will fight, you will climb higher than they ever imagined, and your very existence will become their punishment. Your very strength will become their nightmare. Your very success will become their regret. And that is the deepest form of revenge, not just to strike them down, but to rise so high that their betrayal becomes meaningless. Their lies become dust. Their rejection becomes fuel. Because the truth is, the best revenge is transformation. The best revenge is evolution. The best revenge is survival. But survival so powerful, so undeniable, that it shatters their illusion. And you must carry that fire in you. You must never let it fade. You must never let it die. You must feed it with every scar, with every insult, with every failure, because revenge is the proof that you are still alive. Revenge is the fire that keeps you moving when everything else falls apart. Revenge is the reminder that you cannot be silenced. You cannot be erased. You cannot be broken. And that is why villains rise from the ashes, stronger than heroes. Because heroes forget, but villains remember. Heroes forgive, but villains endure. Heroes let go, but villains hold on. And holding on makes them unstoppable. Because revenge is the chain that pulls them through the storm. Revenge is the voice that whispers, "Get up!" when no one else believes in them. Revenge is the fire that says, "Fight again," when everything tells them to quit. And that is what makes revenge so powerful. Because it is not just rage, it is willpower in its purest form. It is determination sharpened into steel. It is hunger given purpose. And when you walk with that hunger, when you live with that fire, when you refuse to let betrayal define you as weak, you will rise into someone unrecognizable, someone untouchable, someone unstoppable. And your enemies will regret the day they created you, because you are no longer who you were. You are no longer the broken version they left behind. You are no longer the weak soul they thought they buried. You are the storm. You are the fire. You are the monster they never expected. And your very rise will be revenge itself. Because revenge is not just what you do, it is who you become. It is the truth that betrayal awakens. It is the fire that injustice creates. And once that fire is born, it cannot be extinguished. It cannot be silenced. It cannot be contained. And that is why villains are feared, because they turn pain into power. They turn loss into hunger. They turn betrayal into destiny. And when the time comes, they strike with a force that shakes the world. Because revenge is not a curse, it is clarity. Revenge is not poison, it is truth. And that truth, once accepted, will make you more dangerous, more determined, more alive than you have ever been before. Because revenge is not a moment, it is a journey. It is a fire that grows with time. It is a storm that gathers strength with every insult, every betrayal, every scar you carry. And the world thinks you will forget. The world thinks you will forgive. The world thinks you will lie to yourself and say it's over. But the villain never forgets. The villain never lies. The villain never buries the truth. They let it burn. They let it grow. They let it shape them into something stronger, something sharper, something far beyond the weak version that once existed. And that is why villains are feared. Because while everyone else heals and softens, they sharpen. While everyone else lets go, they hold on. While everyone else weakens, they evolve. And that is what revenge truly is. Not destruction, not chaos, but evolution, transformation, rebirth through fire. And in your own life, you must carry this truth. Because you will be betrayed, you will be mocked, you will be left behind. And you can either let it break you, or you can let it forge you into something unbreakable. And if you choose the second path, then every wound will become a weapon. Every scar will become armor. Every betrayal will become fuel. And one day, when they see you standing tall, when they see you unshaken, when they see you shining in the power they tried to take from you, that will be the moment of revenge. Because revenge is not about sinking to their level. Revenge is about rising so high they cannot reach you. It is about building a life so powerful that their betrayal becomes meaningless. It is about proving with your existence that they failed, that they created not a victim but a monster, not a broken soul but a warrior, not an end but a beginning. And that is why you must embrace revenge, not as hatred but as hunger, not as poison but as power. Because power is born from pain, strength is born from scars, fire is born from betrayal. And you must let that fire carry you. You must let that fire guide you. You must let that fire consume your weakness and transform you into something unstoppable. Because revenge is not a curse, it is clarity. Revenge is not madness, it is focus. Revenge is not darkness, it is truth. And truth is the sharpest blade you will ever hold. Truth is the fire that never dies. Truth is the storm that never fades. And when you stand in that truth, you will no longer be afraid. You will no longer be weak. You will no longer beg for forgiveness or acceptance. You will be complete. You will be whole. You will be the living embodiment of survival. And that is what revenge truly is. Survival so powerful it terrifies those who once tried to kill you. Success so undeniable it burns the eyes of those who doubted you. Strength so pure it silences the voices of those who mocked you. And that is why you must never run from revenge. You must never bury it. You must never silence it. You must embrace it, channel it, and let it guide you. Because revenge is the reminder that you cannot be erased. Revenge is the proof that you cannot be destroyed. Revenge is the roar that says, I am still here, stronger than ever, and you will regret ever touching me. And when you live with that fire, when you carry that hunger, when you sharpen yourself on that truth, you will rise into a version of yourself so powerful, so undeniable, so unbreakable, that nothing, and I mean nothing, will be able to stop you, because villains are not born from comfort. Villains are not born from love. Villains are born from betrayal. Villains are born from pain. Villains are born from rejection. And that is why they are unstoppable. That is why they are feared. That is why they are unforgettable. Because they embody the truth no one wants to face. That the darkest pain can create the brightest fire. That the deepest betrayal can create the strongest will. That the heaviest scars can create the most unbreakable warrior. And that is what you must become. Not for them, but for yourself. Because revenge is not about going back. It is about moving forward, so far that the past cannot touch you. It is about creating a future so strong that the pain of yesterday becomes fuel for tomorrow. It is about carving your name into destiny with the fire of every scar you carry. And when you finally rise, when you finally stand tall, when you finally face the world with the storm in your eyes and the fire in your veins, you will understand that revenge was never about destroying them. It was about becoming you, the real you, the unstoppable you, the version of yourself they never wanted to awaken. And that is why revenge is not poison. It is the cure. It is the medicine for betrayal. It is the fire that burns weakness away. It is the storm that cleanses the soul. It is the truth that transforms the broken into the unbreakable.